So here we have a quick look at the settings for the G923. If we go into Logitech Hub here, we can go into the G923 settings, go into steering wheel on the left hand side. We want to operate at the full 900 degrees. Sensitivity, I like it at 80, try it around 50. This doesn't make a massive amount of difference, it just felt quite good at 80. Centering spring strength, you don't actually change until you check this box, but you don't want to check that box. And apply settings from game, very important. So we'll just jump over to the Assetto Corsa content manager settings. If you haven't used content manager, if you don't use content manager, do consider using it because it's a really nice interface, and it's way better than the original Assetto Corsa launcher. So here in your settings, Assetto Corsa and controls, you want to go to the axis and you want to make sure that your gamma is at 1, steering degrees of course is at 900, your scale is at 100, and filter and speed sensitivity both at 0. Then go straight over to the force feedback tab, and in there you want your gain at 100, filter at 0, and your minimum force is all the way up at 30. It might seem a bit strange. If I tried that with my Logitech G27, it would have clipped all over the place and just been rattly the second you leave the pits. But with this wheel it works. Curb effect 40, road effect 25, and slip and ABS for drifting, I just leave those off. I turn off the enhanced understeer effect, and the soft lock is on. Now the most remarkable thing I guess here is that we don't have a LUT file like we would have had with the G27 and the G920 and G29. You would have processed the LUT file. Now you can see this graph is kind of weird. With the older wheels it would have been a much more stable graph, so I'm not 100% sure what the story is there. Long story short, you don't need it. If you don't know what a LUT file is, don't even worry about it, doesn't matter. And that's really all there is to it. Happy drifting. For an entry-level wheel, it has a surprising amount of force, and the force settings that I'm running are actually slightly different to what I would have run with the G27 in the past, and different to what I would run with a G29, G920, all that, because I've tested it on all of them. So I actually have the minimum force set very high. It's actually at its max, it's at 30%, and it feels really good there. The most surprising thing here is that there was no LUT file generation. I didn't have to generate a LUT file. I did try it with a LUT file, and I actually got a weird kind of spiky graph, which was weird, but it with the settings the way they are right now, it feels pretty good on lock, it feels pretty good on transition, and really any kind of oddness that you're seeing is just my lack of experience drifting with a Logitech wheel again. And part of the reason why it might feel so good is because of the new processor. So I reached out to Logitech and I asked them why the wheel feels so different, and I haven't actually gotten a response yet, but the only explanation that I have is that the new processor, which has a far higher sample rate, seems to be somewhat more connected to the wheel. Really, I'm surprised they haven't, played this card, because it seems like they have an ace up their sleeves. With all of the efforts that they put into marketing, they never even mentioned that anything that they've done might have an impact on drifting, and drifting is a massive market for the Logitech wheels. So as you can see, it really does react very well. I know I can feel when it's starting to straighten up. And this is not just because I've spent countless hours drifting. My drifting is a little bit rusty at the moment because I've been doing so much grip driving. But you can see that is pretty precise, and you can put the car pretty much exactly where you want it. On the wall, around a car that's sliding out. That is more than good enough. I'll just take a second as well to say that 70% of the people who watch these videos aren't actually subscribed. So if you like this content, if this was useful for you, or if the settings are useful for you, please do hit subscribe. I really appreciate it. And when my videos come up, I appreciate when you give them a thumbs up, and I especially appreciate when you give a comment below. I try to respond to all the comments, so I will be responding to the comment that you put below. That's it for me. I'm Lawrence. Thanks a million for watching. Chat to you later.